What's going on, Cloud Chucker, and whoever else is ghosting in the background? Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that the Meson didn't show up until today, but I figured since it did show up, I'd give y'all a first look of it and a build and all that good stuff so y'all can see what this thing looks like. I haven't built on it or anything yet. It's still brand new. I took the plastic off of it and looked inside there, but other than that, we're going to be finding out together pretty much what's all in here. So without further ado, let's look at the Meson AIO. Hey, Timekeeper, how's it going? This is the box you're going to get. I'm not going to show the front because the front has the website on there. The side I don't think does, but it shows what color you get. That's blue. So, and then this side says SC614. The front has the good old infamous website on there. So we're just going to skip past there, hopefully fast enough. So this is what you get inside the package. You get, hey Wally, you get a couple of the shoestring wicks there. There's the mod itself in blue. Hey Cherokee. You get a plastic tank. I guess this is a spare tank cover and another stopper in there. You got your 510 adapter right here. This is the regular build deck, which is what we're going to be using. The mesh build deck comes pre-installed in the mod itself. And over here you have strips of mesh, spare O-rings, and a couple of coils, which the coils themselves are 28 gauge, fuse Clapton. You can see 2.5 millimeter, 5 wraps, 0.4 ohms. But we're not going to be using those. I made some wires so that I can, here's the mesh. I made some wires so that I could actually do this. You also get another cover. This, I believe, is if you don't want to restrict your airflow at all. This is plastic, by the way, with magnets on there. So let's take the mod out and you can see this better. Oh, it's in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, the mod is out. So your airflow adjustment's right here. This whole plate is just magnetic. It comes right off. No big deal. If you want to put the other plate on, as simple as this, and you're done. The back is black, so it kind of matches. If you wanted to run it this way and get, you know, just full airflow, you can do that. I tried taking a draw on this with the airflow open and closed. To me, it seems like a direct lung with the airflow all the way open, and when you close it all the way, it's more like a restricted direct lung. The fire button's way down here, which seems like it's way out of place. Your up and down is right here, USB Type-C. Your screen is on the bottom right here. So, I mean, firing this, I mean, it would be a third finger fire, which I know nobody's used to, but it is what it is. Inside back here, you do get your 18650 adapter, or you can run a 2700 or 21700. I will tell you, this plate is thick. Y'all see how thick this is? This is thick right here. It does get a little skinnier in the back end, but towards where it actually connects is very thick. So, and it snaps on really good. Hello, Ernesto. So, we're going to put a battery in here and see what the screen comes up with. I don't know if this battery is fully charged, but it's going to be close to it. So you got a big positive mark right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. And then negatives up here. So positive goes down in this mod. Ugh, man, that's tight. So it does come up and say Steamcrave, and it's already set at 100 watts. What do you know? So you know that's the top that it goes is 100 watts. We're gonna, wow, that's backwards than what I'm used to. We're gonna turn this way down. Let's go down around the 40-ish watt mark. There we go. Now, I don't know what menus are in here. I haven't even messed around this. Well, hey, Speed, how's it going? We are going to take this tank out and build on this thing. So So it's easy as popping that off. This is pretty easy. You just unscrew the drip tip and this whole top piece will come out, which allows you to take the tank section out. I'm not a big fan of the way they finish the inside of this. If you can look in here, it even looks cracked. You see those lines in there? It looks like cracks. I don't know what's up with that. It doesn't feel like a crack. It just looks like it's not finished the way it should have been. It also looks wet right here in that little black section, which I don't know why that's there, but that looks wet. Other than that, it's fine. So here's the actual tank that you get. Like I said, I think the other one's spare. It does have airflow in the back and the front. And taking this bottom off can be tricky. You got to use your fingernails here, which I don't have, so it takes me a little bit longer to get this thing off. I guess I could screw that adapter on there and pull this right out of here. But this is the mesh build deck, which is not focusing very well. Let me see if I can get this better. There we go. There's the mesh build deck. Interesting design. So, but we're going to open up this one and build on this guy because this is the one I want to test and see how good it is. I can find out where the opening is on this thing. Just rip it open. Yeah, easy for you to say. Okay. Ripping it open. Still hard to come out of here. As bad as a cigarette wrapper, man. I feel a screw in my hand. That's scary. I already have a screw in my hand that probably comes from the build deck. Or these are spares. So be careful if you do get one of these. Your spares are already inside that little silicone wrapper. You will lose that really easily. Because I'm pretty sure these are still in. There's 2 on that side. There's 2 on that side. These are hex type screws. So let me, oh, I got 4 of them. I thought there was 2. Now it's 4. Okay. My bad. Let me put those back in the box so I don't lose them. They do give you this little 3-way tool right here. So that ought to make it easier to tighten this thing down. Hopefully that's the correct size for it. If not, I do have other tools. I always had a couple of screws loose. Yeah, there you go. Let's take this guy here, which is the adapter, and make sure that I can screw this on here without issue. Yeah, that goes on there just fine. Look at that. I like it. I don't know where Creed's build stand is. We're going to take this blue one right here for right now. Screw this down on here like that. Let's see what we got as far as the manual is concerned and all that good stuff. I don't want to lose anything out of this box. There's 2 layers of stuff, so you do get a nice braided USB-C cable. That's nice. It's not just a normal plastic one, so this is a good one. Hey, Noel. Oh, wow. They give you the little tool to make your mesh coils with. So you can wrap this around here and set up your mesh coil. Down in here, I'm trying to get down in here and hopefully not. I'm trying to show y'all. I've pulled out multiple layers of foam. Let me show y'all. I had to pull these 2 layers of foam out just to get down to this. You do get some battery wraps to match. I'm sure if you have a different color, they'll probably give you purple battery wraps or whatever color you got. A Steamcrave sticker. Here is the actual manual in purple for some reason, but that's okay. We can deal with that. I'm going to try and look at some of these specs for y'all. It's probably in such small writing I'm not going to be able to see this, but thank you for selecting blah, blah, blah. Compatible with 800 watts. So, yeah, this is, why did the camera freeze? There we go. Supporting both low and high watts vaping, 5 mil juice capacity. That's good to know. The screen size is 0.69 inches. Let's see, mesh, 2 airflow panels. So it does variable wattage, variable voltage, and temp control and bypass. So it has all 4 of those modes in there. This does take standard burrow tanks. If you have a burrow, you know, other burrow tanks, you can put those in there. Not the little dot mod ones, but the standard burrow tanks. Chamber lock system, so that locks down the top of the tank, but you can take it apart without, you know, you can take it apart separately so that you can get in there and do all your builds and stuff. Let's see, weight 218 grams. The size is 88 by 31 by 51 millimeters. There you go. There's your specs without me having to weigh it or anything. So as far as the build goes, let's see what we can get in here. The actual top of the inside of the chimney here looks like it has a fair amount of space. So the coils they gave me are 2.5 millimeter. Hello, Dustin. I'm going to try to throw some 3 millimeter coils in there and hope that they fit okay without, you know, arcing out or anything. So why did they give me so many freaking pads to put in here? I'm trying to put all this back together without losing anything. Okay, I think I got all that back together now, pretty much. You go there, you go there, you go there. I did make some wire. I already have 2 coils right here. Some fused Claptons that I made minutes ago. So we're going to put those in there. As far as the depth goes, we're just going to have to see together. Hopefully this is the right size tool. It is. That's good news. Bring these screws out. I don't have a lot of juice to test this with. I haven't made that new bottle of juice yet that I said I was going to do last night. I could zoom in on this for you guys, but if I do that, I'll probably go off camera, and that would suck. So I don't know why the reviewers haven't got these yet. You know, the regular reviewers, not me, because, you know, I'm just one of them fly-by-night guys. So there we go. All those are loose. Let's see what we get on distance here. That is way too high. Yeah, that's right now it's sitting that high. So you can tell that needs to come way down. I don't know if I have my coily tool handy, so we're going to have to just kind of judge this. I'm going to cut it here and here. So right now I have about this much length on there. Let's see what this is looking like. That's still too high. You know what's weird about this is the airflow is going to be coming. Oh, I got it turned wrong. I'm screwing up. I was going to say the airflow is coming wrong at the coils, but coil needs to go this way. My bad. That's pretty close there. That's pretty close. It needs to go down just a little bit more. So what you want to do in this case is see where your airflow is going to be. So when I have this tank all the way down, it's going to be right there. So honestly, that's pretty close. It needs to go a little bit lower. I don't know if you can see the coil's still a little high for it. So if I bring it down just a little bit more, it'll be right on point. So what I'm going to do, cut this back just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the other coil and match it up to this one. So that's pretty easy to do, especially if you have like a coil master tool or something. I just slide one of these coils down onto here. I take the other coil, slide it down. Make sure my legs are lined up straight so that I can cut this all even with the other coil right there and right there. So now we have 2 coils with matching lengths and we can put it together. You left Albuquerque last night at 7:30. Wow. Okay, Speed. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now it's not all the way down on the deck, but it's close. I don't know if y'all can see the gap right there. That's about where I want this, so that's where we're gonna stick with. I'll have to measure this later on when I've had this for a little while to see exactly how, you know, how much, how many millimeters that is. I would say it's closer to the 3.5 millimeter, maybe. Just taking a wild guess at it. Okay, that one's tight. Take the other side, do the same thing. It's actually a really easy build deck to throw your coils into, that's for sure. I don't know why I was doing it backwards to start off with. Maybe it's just my bad vision. So hopefully I can take this and actually, you know, crank up the wattage on it without it, you know, dry hitting or tasting burnt or anything like that. I don't want any of that. We're gonna have to mess around with it and try it. So now I need to straighten these coils out. You can see that they're both tilted. We're gonna do that now. Straighten that one out. Straighten this one out. So I think that looks pretty darn good right there. I don't know about government work, but that looks pretty on point. Is that okay, DeMillan, if DeMillan's around? Hey, CDC. So we are building on the Steamcrave Meson tank right now. They give you some 2.5 millimeter. I'm not going to, these are going to be used for the mesh, which even says cotton lace mesh. So it's telling you, hey, use it on the mesh deck. Okay. So now we're going to cut some cotton and get that all lined up in there. I'm just going to take some Muji cotton. These are my bigger strips of Muji, but it'll be fine. The Harbor Freight scissors are still going strong, even though somebody used them for something other than cutting cotton. So now they don't seem to work as well as they used to. I do have a brand new set laying right here on the floor, though, which I will incorporate after we move to the new house. So let's take this. I want to zoom this in so you guys can see this better, but maybe I'll do that here in a second. See if I can get this zoomed in a little better for you guys. Here. Why is it not letting me click on it? I said you. Thank you. How's that? Is that better? Hopefully. I am old, Speed. You know, that's what us old timers do. We do old timey type things. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes or casting over the top of anybody. I tried to do this show early where, you know, nobody else is really casting. I haven't seen too many shows on Saturday anyway. If they are, they're on much later in the day, so I should be fine. Not that I care really that much. I try to be a nice person and not cast over the top of people. It looks like I don't need a lot of cotton here because the actual wicking channel is right next to the coil. It is right there. So I'm just going to measure this down and cut off most of this cotton right here. So if this was down, it would be right there pretty much. I may even have to take off a little bit more of that. The last thing you want to do is overstuff it with cotton and then you get dry hits constantly. So I'm going to rake this out a little bit. And if this looks like this is too much cotton, I'm going to take some more off. I'll know once I start putting this down in this wicking channel. Pushing the back end and then letting the front catch. Might be a hair too much, maybe. But I also don't want it to flood, so I don't want to not put enough. And the thing is, there's a balance to this. If you put too much, you can get the dreaded dry hit. And if you don't put enough, what usually happens, or if you put close to the right amount, after a few days, your cotton's going to start to sag, and then you'll get flooding, which would really suck. Hello, Jarrett from Belgium. How you doing? This is the Meson. I'll show you what this part looks like, kinda. We're going to get to that here in a minute, though. We are actually building the actual coil deck that comes with it. It also comes with a mesh deck that you can put in there. So, but we're going to do this one first, and then worry about the mesh later on. So that's pretty good there. Hopefully I have my juice down here. I do. Good. That's a good thing. So now that I have this on an adapter that comes with it, I'm going to take this off and throw this on a mod. I didn't pulse these coils in. I did not pulse these coils in. All right, I gotta rip this cotton out. I just did all that for nothing. This is what happens when you get old, folks. You just forget stuff. And I'm not going to do that without pulsing these coils in. And why did it freeze? Sorry. There we go. Oh, you looked at this mod? You knew and didn't say nothing? I know, right, Caden? I made a boo-boo. So we're showing 0.34 as far as the ohms go. Hopefully I can get these to warm up at the same time. They're heating up nice and slow, which is interesting, honestly. Brand new coils, man. They're like, yeah. Well, I got it down at a low wattage. Let me unlock this so I can bring up the wattage a little bit. All right, that ought to be good. There we go. Now we can get these suckers glowed in correctly. This one's firing up just a little quicker than the other one. Usually when that happens, you either have one of the leads are a little loose, or it could be a bunch of things. I'm just going to go back and double check that all these are tight. This is the side that was concerning me. That one looks loose. It's in there though. There we go. Let's try this again. There's wind blowing on it too, so that's throwing off. What did that say? Low battery. There we go. That's a nice even heat. Thanks, Speed. So I really doubt I'm going to be able to use these little pieces now. So we're just going to start over with another piece of cotton, because that wasn't going to work. There we go. I got some more cotton right here. I think I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit too on this one, just because it seems like it was a little much on the cotton side of things. I don't want to burn my cotton right off the bat. Okay, that's full up. I'm going to cut this shorter. I'm just getting the big stuff out of the way. How did I forget to break those coils in? Man, I'm telling you, old age. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to just cut one side. Then I'm going to check, see how that's fitting in there. And if it's too short, I can pull some from the other side, then cut the other side. That way I know I'm in the right ballpark here. I think that's about right there. I like that much better than the last bit of cotton I put in. That's fitting in there just right. So what I want to do is cut it back here then. That ought to be good right there. You can see that's pretty short. It's almost even with the second deck here. I know you can't really tell, but it's pretty even with that second little step up on the deck. That makes it barely go down into the wicking channels because I don't want to overstuff that to where juice can't make it up in there. So I think that's going to get it right there. Let me get this little piece tucked in there. That ought to get her. All right, let's get some juice on here. The specs on the burrow tank. It is a normal size burrow tank, Brett. It holds 5 mils of juice, but this is what it looks like. This is the top section, I should say. So it has airflow in the front and the back, but it is the same size as your standard burrow tank. Not the little dot mod tank, because you can see the dot mod tanks are much smaller. See the difference? This is a standard size burrow tank. This is the dot mod tanks, much smaller. Or the SX Mini version, which is right here, the VI class, which is what this is. Much smaller burrow tank. All right. Let's get this thing starting to fire up here. I really don't have that much juice. I'm hoping I have at least 5 mils so that we can try this thing. Boy, that smells good, though. You're welcome, Dolores. Now, the other thing I recommend doing is getting a little bit of juice around this O-ring so that you can take on and off this tank easily. So I'm just putting a little juice around the O-ring so when I close this down, this metal doesn't cut into the O-ring, because that's the last thing you need is a freaking leak right there. So I'm going to slide this down on here. Hopefully the coil fits in there without arcing, which is the other reason why I'm doing this now, to make sure that it fits. So we're showing 0.24, which is exactly right for this coil. It is not arcing. It is not dead shorting. It is firing the way it's supposed to. So we're good to go there. I'm going to take this on and off a couple times to make sure that it seats good on the bottom, because this thing is brand new, so it's kind of like popping up a little bit, it looks like. I'm going to try turning it around. Maybe it fits better this way. It does. I don't know why, but there we go. So now it's time to fill this thing. How hard is it to open this? Well, that's pretty easy. I'll give them credit. That came open pretty easy. See how much juice we can get in here. So it says it holds 5 mils. I mean, I may have 5 mils of juice left. Oh, I might have went a little overboard on that. Take something to wipe this off with. I don't want to get juice all in there right off the bat. So there we go. This is all built now. We're going to throw this inside the mod. Just like so. You definitely want to do it with your fill port pointing outside. That way you don't have, you're able to fill it without taking it out. I'm just going to screw this drip tip down on here. And then the mod should get connection and it should show. Showing 0.13 on the ohms when it was showing 0.2 something. So we're going to have to determine whether that's good or bad. The watts are set way too low. But if it's only going to show 0.13, we're going to have an issue here. 0.13, that's all it's showing. Go figure. I'm at 40, let's go with 45 watts. We're just going to see how this thing vapes now. Let's go back to the main screen here and see what we got. I don't know why I look so weird on this camera now. I'm reversed. I seriously just tried to fire pushing this. This is going to take some getting used to. I'll be honest, that tastes burnt at 45 watts, which don't make any sense. Let me double check my connections. Really, now this don't want to unscrew? So I don't think they give you the little tool to unscrew this top piece, so be careful how tight you get that in. I'm mirrored. All right, well, maybe I can fix that in this. No, not that. What am I doing? My camera, let's see, is it this one? Properties, well, that doesn't fix it. I just screwed up the camera. Okay. All right. I look younger mirrored. That's hilarious. All right, let me see if I can fix that. Image settings, white balance, more settings, tracking speed, mirror image. There it is. Let's turn that off. Is that better now? Let's see. Is it better now? All right. Why is this only showing 0.13 on the ohms? That's what I'm wondering. Because that means one of the coils is either not making connection or is shorted. Because that's half of what it should be. Exactly half. That concerns me. I'll try and put this back in here again and see if I can't get the reading to come up. And that's also why it would taste burnt. 0.13, that's all I'm getting. All right, let's go back to the drawing board here. Now, am I able to take this out without juice going everywhere? Yes, I did. Let me go over to the build cam so y'all can see this. So I took the whole top off and didn't spill juice anywhere. One of these coils is slightly higher than the other one. So what I'm going to do is kind of ease that down. And hopefully that's all it was touching. Make sure they're both pushed in away from the wall. But not that close. Okay, as long as that can fit in between there, that means there's a gap. Let's check the ohm reading again. How's my hands all shaky this morning? Jeez. 0.47. I mean, wait, look at there. Short circuit. Short circuit? On what? Okay. Well, that tells me what I need to know. Something is not right. Maybe these are touching. I did push them in kind of far. And now we're getting 0.31, and it's not short circuiting anymore. When I screwed them in more, no, that didn't do it, Caden. I'm trying to figure out what is causing this. That looks like that's firing okay. Let's try this again. Okay, with the tank back on. Still showing 0.31, so we're going to move it back to the mod now. Hopefully nothing has changed when it goes in here. I mean, so putting 3mm coils in here might be a little bit of a stretch. There we go, 0.27. That's much more like it. That's about where it needs to be. So now when I fire this, I shouldn't be getting a burnt taste anymore. Let's go back and try that again. It's firing, but very weak. Oh, that's much more like it. Now we need to crank this up to about 75 watts. And that's going to give the true taste of this thing. Whoa. Okay, it didn't hit the first time. The second time it did. I'm not a fan of this fire button at all. This is going to be very confusing to anybody that uses this. This fire button being way down here. I wish they could have put it up here or put a fire button up here at the worst case scenario. I do not like the fire button down here. That's going to take some getting used to. I guess if you hold it down here, it's fine because then you can still use your finger, but oh yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm going to turn the airflow all the way off and show y'all that it still does like a restrictive direct lung. Not bad. Thank you, Cloud Illusions. Yeah, it's vaping good. I don't know if that's the best flavor I've got in the world. It's fine. Now the question is, how is the battery life going to be on this? Even though it, you put the open cover on there, You know what? That's not a bad idea, Brett. I'm going to put the open cover dealio on here. So there it is. Now it's just wide open. It's wide open right there. See, it didn't fire. Come on now. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that there. I'm not, this fire button though, it's like sometimes it fires, sometimes it doesn't. Not all of it yet, Cloud. That's a today project. Weak pinky finger. It is not a weak finger. The stubby is half the price, T-Man. I think that, hold on, I got something I got to do here. I don't think that justifying the difference, it really depends on what you like. The stubby has a lot more juice capacity. So if it's something that you wanted that has more juice capacity, the stubby's the way to go, no question. But the thing about that is, it may have more juice capacity, but it also uses a single 18650. So your battery life is not going to be as long. The other thing I don't like about the stubby is the colors of the plates don't really match. So if I got if I was to buy another stubby, I would get one that was just solid black or something and hope that the colors match, because the blue one, the plates just don't match that well, which it's somewhere up here on my desk. No, it's upstairs. My bad. Stubby's upstairs. I want this to fire more often. I don't like the way this is firing. Maybe because it's new. Right now it's firing okay. So here's the plate off my stubby, but it's not the same color as the rest of the mod. So they anodized them obviously in different batches. So when that happens, getting the color to match perfectly is hard, and they didn't get it perfect. I mean, that's being a little picky. I realize that, but a lot of people that vape, that's, you know, if they got OCD or something, they're real picky about stuff like that. And I can't blame them, because, you know, I'm the same way. It does feel nice in the hand. I'll give you that. Let me go back to my screen so I can see what I'm doing here. The way this is curved in the back, it does fit very comfortable in the hand. Firing it with either this finger or this finger is kind of weird instead of your index. The only way you can fire it with your index is if you slide the mod up some. You obviously, if you do that, I think what Steamcrave was thinking, in order to keep from covering up the airflow, they moved the fire button down here. There is no way you're going to cover up the airflow if you're firing it down here like this. Now, if you're firing it up here, it's possible. But if you bring your hands down and fire this, just hold it down low, you're not going to cover up any of the airflow at all. Feels good in the hand. Yeah. So right now we're showing 0.37. Technically, these two coils should be ohming out right around 0.24. So I don't know if I got them in there exactly perfect or what's going on, but yeah. Cloud Chucker, you know, there's a lot of people that already review. I have no desire really to do that, and I'll tell you the main reason why. It's a lot of editing, and I am not the best or even close to the best at doing any kind of editing. I'm probably the worst at editing anything, so there you go. The back of it does feel warm, so for me firing this at 75 watts, it does make this feel warm. This tastes fine. It's hard to tell because this is a different mix of Nilla nuts. So it's hard to tell. You know what? I know how I can test this. Let's test this against the Kylan Mini and see if I'm getting just as good a flavor off of that as I am this. Now, the big difference is that's brand new, fresh cotton, fresh coils, everything. So it's going to be... It's going to be me needing to change the wattage back down on this because that was too much. All right, let's go back and try this again. Yeah, that one's got more of a back end on the flavor. This one hasn't got to that point, and I really think it's got a lot to do with it being fresh cotton. Yeah, I'm still getting that slight new cotton taste. Maybe I didn't burn it in enough. That's what I'm guessing. But there's no dry hits whatsoever now. There's no feeling burnt taste when I fire it, which it did at first, but that's because one of the coils was shorting, apparently. So I got all that fixed now, and it's firing fine. It's not misfiring on hitting the fire button anymore. Maybe it took a few clicks to get this thing broke in good. I don't know. But it's working fine now. It is getting better and better with each hit, that's for sure. Better and better and better. I don't like how warm the mod's feeling, though. I mean, I am pushing this to 75 watts, which the max of this thing is 100 watts. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this is hot. That's hot. So probably running it with a little bit higher ohm coils, maybe less wraps, maybe even going with stainless steel. Maybe the key in this. I should have used the coils they included, but I wanted to try it with my own. They do work. Just gonna have to get used to this thing. I will be going through this the entire week, trying this and the mesh. And why is my phone dinging like crazy? I didn't do anything. Okay, that was my buddy that I was going to fly with. I just didn't get in the air the day we went. He's saying, yeah, unfortunately, that's in a military Air Force base. You got to get clearance. Yeah, but they give clearance all the time. The other guy I fly with has already called for clearance and got it. As long as they're not doing military exercises over there, they'll let you fly. Oh, your phone has the same sound? Yeah. Ding, ding. It's like, hey, man, what's going on here? Not firing again. There has to be a trick on how you push this button to get it to fire. Now it's fine. What the heck, man? You have to wake it up? Is that what it is? I hope it doesn't have those wake up things. That would suck. You don't like the hesitation on that mod. It does have a slight hesitation, Dolores. Mainly because I got it pushed up on high watts. I think at a lower wattage it'd probably be faster. So 5 clicks does turn it off. I like the on-off screen. Let me show you guys so you can see it. So here's the screen, and when I 5-click this, that's the off, and here's the on. Like that. Maybe it's 3 clicks to get in the menu. Yep, there's voltage mode. There is temp control. Titanium. It's going through the different ones. Bypass mode. And back to wattage. Yeah, pretty easy. 3 clicks, get switches between the different modes, and then you can swap your power and all that, your temperature. Yeah, this is definitely warm. Let me check the battery. You know what's weird? The battery itself, I don't think it's a DNA chip, Tetley. I really don't. I think this is proprietary. The battery itself is not warm. It's the mod that's getting warm, and it's because the tank is getting hot. The battery is fine, so the mollicell holds up the way it's supposed to. Okay, I know he don't know I'm live, but he is texting the bejesus. Okay. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, Dolores, honestly, putting this dual coil like that and bumping it up to really high wattages, that's the whole thing with these burrow tanks. You don't want to crank out really high wattages. It's not made for that. So honestly, me building something at a higher ohm, it would be better. It is proprietary. I thought it was, Brett. It's not a DNA chip. It wouldn't boot up like this. It has the same style to DNA, but it's not. I got the book right here, and let's see if the book says anything about that. Battery output, modes, thread. You'd think they'd tell you. Temperature control mode, warranty. I see nothing about what type chip's in here, unfortunately. What percentage of my mods turned out to be duds? Name the top 3 duds and why. Cloud, most of the dud mods that I've gotten have been mechanical mods, believe it or not. And the main reason for that is the actual battery drop that you get from some mech mods. They have learned since the beginning that the material of the mod and what they make them out of makes a huge difference. The first one I got that was the biggest disappointment, which I've already taken all those mods off, is a Chi-Yu. It was a clone, because back then clones were big. Did it fire just then? No. Oh, I wasn't hitting it. That Chi-Yu was a clone, and I'm pretty sure because I bought it from a vape shop, but they were selling clones. It's obvious, because if it was a real one, they would have charged a lot more money for it. It had like a 1 volt battery drop, but the worst one that I got was the one that came from Fast Tech that looked like a skull and 2 guns. That thing has I'd say 2.5 volt battery drop. So it really pushes your battery hard just to fire any kind of RDA on top of it. That one is strictly for looks. It is not a functional mod that I like at all. Most of the chipped mods that I've gotten, all of them have worked pretty good. I got one DNA device, the rouleau, actually. It dropped while I was at my mother's funeral, and that messed up the screen. I replaced the screen, and the screen went bad again after a week. So I just gave up on that mod. It still fires, but you can't see the display. And I was like, I'm not replacing the display again. Screw that. So yeah, back in the day, Authentics were very expensive, Timekeeper. You got that right. A lot of them were very expensive. Hell, even now, I mean, I still got some authentic mech mods that are really expensive to this day. Munchkin has one of them. It's hers now, so that Pacifica. I got so much stuff that I got to go through. Oh my God. CDC, I am not the man. I am not the man. I'm the man sitting next to the man. Well, I mean, hopefully this gives y'all a little insight on the Meson. This is just a first look, and it's not meant to be a review. Honestly, you saw that I had trouble with it. The build went okay. I just think I'm going to have to go through some different size coils and whatnot to tweak this to get it to where I want it to be, and then I think it'll be fine. Right now it's hot, it's warm, it's actually cool back down now, but it's only warm because I'm vaping it at a really high wattage, and that little bitty tank is gonna get hot. There's no room in there for those coils to breathe, so it's gonna get hot. I'm old school like your Converse. That's funny. It's vaping fine now, and it tastes fine. You're a very welcome, Cloud Chucker. I just didn't want to wait an entire week to show you guys. But like I said, I'm going to go through this week changing out different things, trying the mesh coils on there, seeing how warm it gets. I want to know what Steamcrave's version of, hey, we need this size coil in there to make it vape the best. So I'm going to try their coils also. Like 4 years CDC, maybe 5. The Guar 18. And, you know, I got the Guar 21s, Jarrett, and love these things. So this is like my everyday, all-day mod. You can tell by how scratched up it is. And then I also have this one. They're both Guar 21s. I like them because the battery life is really good on that. Really good on the battery life. So and although this mod is a single battery, it's a single 21700, which is what was so hard to find for something with a burrow tank with a 21700. Most of the burrow tank mods that we have right now are all 18650. So this one is still comfortable in the hand, but it holds a 21700, which is a bonus. And Steamcrave always makes good stuff. I really think that this fire button, the more that I fire it, the better it's going to get. And also this cotton's going to break in more. So I'm going to continue vaping this throughout the day today and see how good it goes. It almost feels like I'm vaping this at too high of a watt. I'll try going down a little bit. But yeah, see, now it's showing correct. 0.25. That's more like what this should be. But now it's not getting warm either. I just turned it down, but that's much more like it. The flavor's getting better each time I vape this, so I'm really hoping that the cotton just needs to break in, sit around a little while, and then it's gonna be good. But thanks everybody for joining me. I'm gonna bump off of here and continue vaping this, and if there's any breaking news, I'll post it in the group. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep on vaping this and see how it goes. But you guys have a great rest of the weekend. It's really nice outside here, so we're probably gonna try to get some stuff done, maybe put in some boxes, and that way we'll be closer to being ready to moving. But oh yeah, Sue, I'll do another build Friday for sure. But catch you guys later on, and yeah, start packing. And y'all have a good one. Peace.